So you've arrived at your friend's house who has politely allowed you to film there, but it looks a little something like this. At a low budget level, let's have a look at a few tips on what we can do to fix it. Alright guys, I know. I'm back at the desk, the workstation, doing another practical tutorial. One day you're going to open up this video and I'm going to be in the mountains doing tutorials again. You'll be like, remember when he was always at his desk? I don't remember that. Oh my God. Today we're going to be talking about white walls, plain walls, magnolia walls. Something that I would say is a surefire symbol that you're looking at a low budget short film or a student short film. Because while we can now afford inexpensive cinema cameras and great lenses, one thing that doesn't come with a cheap price tag is a large open space where you can bring your talent away from the wall and create compositional depth, or additionally have a set designer come in and reconfigure the location. So we're going to be working under the theoretical circumstance, that you're in a rented property. So we can't paint the wall, we can't put wallpaper up, and we can't bang in nails into the wall to put up pictures. We just have to work with the white walls or the magnolia walls. What can we do to kind of bring away that dullness and boring element? I've got the old Ugly McGregor hard drive here, filled of broken-hearted memories and short films. So we're gonna have a look at some old content and see what I did back in the day to try and make it look less student film-like. So the first step towards working with a white wall is to stop it from becoming a source of attention. By nature, it's a giant reflective surface and one that you don't want to overpower your scene. You don't want to light a blank wall. Instead, move your talent away and look for the area to only be lit by the dim fall-off, like in the footage on screen. However, as I said in the introduction, sometimes we can't pull away the actors from the wall because we're in a small location. Instead, what we need to look at is introducing a range of tonality across the wall by shaping the light. By introducing a flag or various other lighting modifiers, even elements of the scene itself from blinds to plants, we can start to cut the light and create shadow along the white wall. This is from a film I did in 2019. Initially, that white wall way too blank for us upon review, so putting an aperture 300D outside to cut through those blinds, it makes for some interesting shapes on the white wall and ultimately makes it a lot more visually appealing to look at. And even though we haven't done anything to the wall itself, we haven't manipulated it or painted it, we now have two different, or perhaps more than two, ranges of tones on the wall, making it look a lot more varied. Now, what if you don't have the tools available, or perhaps you only just have one light? Well, see if you can wedge a worksheet into the door and window. This is a shot from 2011, 10 years ago. Yes, that is me. We had a plain white wall. It looked boring, but because the story allowed it, we placed this worksheet up behind me, not to cover the white wall, but to create these patches of shadow and tones throughout. So there's a lot more shapes to the image. Again, here we've just put a rug with some patterns on this banister to dampen the plain white wall in the background, and in practice there's no real reason to have this rug on the banister, but it kills the boringness of just having a white wall. Now if you're in a location with 4 white walls, hopefully there's a window and a door in there too. And then the next step, we're going to look at using shapes and colour found within the natural location to break up the dullness of the boring white wall. Now in this shot, it just has far too much plain white wall space over to the left, and the window itself feels like a white wall. It doesn't look great. So instead of filming the desk against the wall, we brought the desk out to film into the stairs, into the joint of the room. And the line of the stairs nullifies the boring wall. Now, of course, having a stairs in your room is quite a unique circumstance. So let's look at this. It's a classic student film type shot. The guy sat on a couch, magnolia wall behind. It just doesn't look great. So moving that camera 90 degrees and having the lamp dirty the frame a bit has made it look a lot more visually interesting. I mean, to a degree. Let's criticize 2013 or 14 Lewis. It doesn't look nice either way, but it was all learning back then. But let's just quickly jump back to that other shot. Additionally, even though the stairs somewhat broke up the scene, we still had 2 plain white patches that weren't doing anything visually appealing. So if you can't just get the right angle, or perhaps the door that I said to put open has to be closed, look at using color temperature to break up the white wall. We broke that up by placing a 3200 Kelvin lamp to the corner, so now we have a visual separation along the wall and then color separations too. See, there's not a lot that we can do when working in a location with plain white walls. Your main priority is going to be getting your talent as far away from the wall as possible, and then of course use the tips mentioned throughout the video. So I've been Lewis with Shutterstock Tutorials, and I'll catch you guys next time.